Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It is 1 o'clock Central Time. I don't remember what the time is. And we are going to talk about how to overcome imposter syndrome every day without all the frustration and the drama and all the things. Hey, how you guys doing? It's so good to see everybody. Hey, Amanda. So what's up for the holidays? You guys have any plans? You guys have any wins? What's up, Joel? Joel's a good friend, always supporting me. So I just said we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. We're going to talk about a few other things as well. I'm going to kind of dive into because I want you guys to just get into like magic. I want you guys to get in this new place and know that like so much is available for y'all than what you think and what your brain is like allowing you to believe and think. Hey, what's up? Gas Passer SRNA, funniest memes. Definitely follow if you need a good laugh. Hello, Andrea. Let's see. Amanda is resting from finals week. Heck yes. You have any gems to share for your fellow peers? Ashley, what's going on? Hey, Tenny, how's it going? I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. So if you're on here, I'd love to hear any, any wins, any holiday plans. I try to be, I try to be as quick, brief, to the point as I possibly can so I can get y'all on your way. But I really was like inspired to do this live. I'm happy to have you here. Is because my husband and I, like, it has been a terrible year for my husband, for our marriage, for life. Like, it has been an awful year. And like all of a sudden, hey, Andrea, it's like this holiday season came and it was like we both started getting just swept up in like all the magic, right? And I was like, what happened? Like, why couldn't we have done this at any point in the year? You know what I mean? Like, why are we just all of a sudden now we're like, oh, it's holiday season. Let's like be happy and get swept up in it. And I do want you guys to get out of this is that joy and magic and inspiration and all of that is always available to us. But sometimes I think we just get so stuck in our circumstances because Lord knows I did. Like, I cannot tell you guys how ugly this year's been. But joy is always available to us, and so is magic. And that is what really has just inspired me to write this, that even if you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling not confident, you're not feeling worthy, you're feeling unmotivated, like that is okay. We always have a choice and a chance to pivot into something that better serves us. And that's what I really want to talk to y'all about today. Hey, Crystal, what's going on? Another queen about imposter syndrome. She's been through all the things, coaches on it, does that as well. Okay, so let's dive in. Guys, feel free to keep on. Let's see what Gas Passer said. I love it, Gas Passer, SRNA. Took myself a mental health day today. Excellent. I love it. The power in resting and taking a break and like really resting, not like laying in bed and thinking about how terrible you are. Like there's a lot of power in just like stepping back and taking a break. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Amanda Kelly. I go by Amanda K online. I coach, I mentor aspiring CRNAs. I also work full-time as a CRNA out in suburbia land. Sometimes I'll pop into the city. I have way too many dogs. I'm not going to tell you how many. I have a 2.5-year-old husband, and one of my favorite things in the world is just literally connecting with you guys and hanging out with y'all and helping you guys get to where you want to be and thrive and succeed, because I had a really kind of like rough go when I was in CRNA school. And if I can just make a little piece of y'all's journey better, then like I'm here for it. So I hope you guys know you guys can always reach out to me with anything you need. And let's go ahead and dive into the fun. So my inbox is always full of, I'm going to call it like a dream and mood killer, which essentially is imposter syndrome, right? It's like this sneaky, psychological, like little bastard of a thing that comes in, and it's basically you feel like an absolute fraud is essentially what it is. And this could be while you're in school, and this could even be while you're doing your while you're doing your apps or anything, like while you're applying, right? It's like, I shouldn't be here. Somebody made a mistake. Who am I to do this? Like, what is happening, right? Hey. Oh my gosh, you guys follow Moosely. If you guys need to like set your soul on fire, she's amazing. Sarah, she's awesome. So it's like I call it the mood, the dream killer, right? And I've done a live on this before. I did a live on imposter syndrome like a while ago. And today I just want to take a fresh new look at it. And I want to give you guys some of my best coaching advice. And I want you guys to leave here feeling less frustrated and be more confident and know that magic is always available to you. And you always have a choice. You always have the ability to move past all the impostery drama that's going on, right? And I know a lot of you are like, hey girl, hey Lissa. I know a lot of you guys are like, Amanda, please. Like, I've tried everything. I've tried to be positive. I've done all the positive thinking thing. I've asked for the help. I try not to take the constructive criticism, like personally. I've changed all the strategies. I'm trying and just nothing is working. I just feel like crap, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about why we play small, why we all of a sudden just don't like to believe anymore, right? Like why we feel like believing and all that magic and stuff is like for kids. So we're gonna talk about that first. I'm gonna dive into that. Then we're gonna talk about the different kinds of imposter syndrome. There's like 5 kinds. So we'll see who you guys are. And then once you kind of ID what kind of imposter you kind of are walking around with and resonate with that, become aware of it, then we're gonna close out with talking about belief, because that is like the secret sauce behind it. Like that's what I think we're missing that part of it when we're talking about imposter syndrome. And I really want to address that today, because it's okay if you can't positive patty your way out of everything. It's not your fault that you just can't get over it and, whatever, because imposter syndrome, if you look at, I've been looking at all the definitions and doing more research into it than I ever have. But imposter syndrome comes down to belief. It is a belief. It's psychological. It's in your head. It's you believing that you're a fraud, you're inadequate, you're incompetent. It's a belief issue. Okay. So we're going to first talk about like, where do beliefs come from? Because me, if you guys do any of my coaching, any of my programs, I like big picture. I like to back it up. I like to make everything super crystal clear, and then we can kind of break it down. So we're talking about like, where do beliefs come from, and why as adults are we almost like fun killers and we don't like to believe anymore, right? And if anyone have any guesses as to why like we just become adults and all of a sudden we just don't like to believe in stuff anymore? Any guesses? I'm so thirsty. All right, I'll get into it in a second. Let me know if I have any guesses as to why as adults we just don't like to believe anymore. But I think like about the age like 0 to 7, there's like this magical time in our lives where we literally just believed we could do anything, right? Anything, everything was possible. Like you were so magic. I see it like in my 2.5-year-old right now. And then you go to school, right? And you interact with all these other humans. And by the time we're like age 7 to 14, it becomes imprinted in us, right? It's like, I know some of you guys like think about middle school and high school and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, not cool enough. I got to get the best clothes. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. Like it just becomes our daily lives. And even the cool kids had insecurities, right? That's why they were like trying to, overcompensate, right? Like it happens like around like 7 to 14. And then what happens is we realize how awful it feels to be disappointed. And like, that's it, guys. Like that's why we don't like to believe, because we don't like to feel disappointed. Period, right? Even like when you find out about like Santa, right? Or for me, I was like, wait, Princess Jasmine in Aladdin? Like that's not real? Like, what do you mean? Like I want to be her, right? Like my parents are liars, the world sucks. And all of a sudden at some point, and like some of you guys, I know things have happened in your life, right? Like terrible things have happened. And it's just like the world sucks, and all the magic, all the fun, all the excitement, all of our dreams, we just kind of like play small, we hide, we resist, we don't like step into kind of who we are and what we want anymore, because we don't want to be disappointed. Like y'all are scared to death, me included, of disappointment, period. Like that's what it comes down to. That's why you're not getting your applications into CRNA school right away, right? That's why you're like dreading going to clinical, because like, oh, I'm just going to just be disappoint everyone today. I'm just going to suck. Here comes another day. Hey, Parker. You know what I mean? And it's just, we just become like ingrained in us from like 7 and beyond to just hide and to play small, because it's so much easier to do that than it is to be disappointed, right? And we don't want to feel like crap. We are scared to death to feel like crap, right? And I don't like, Amanda, I'm not going to sit here and like dream and believe and all these things that clinical is going to go well. I'm going to get into school and blah, 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 blah. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to be disappointed. I don't really want to be disappointed. So like, what's the point? So I'm just going to kind of like, I'm just going to like hang back and just let it be. What's up, Anesthesia God? Also meme like king over here. So you guys are preventing any possibility of having any belief in your anesthesia journey that you can do this, because you don't want to be disappointed. And our brains are like so finite about things. Like we just think everything is like this long, just like this long road. And we're like, okay, if I don't get into school by this, then F it, I'm doing it. If I don't have my intubations down by this, then just forget it. It doesn't really matter anyways. If I don't have this by this, then I don't really care, right? You guys put yourselves in these like crazy timelines, and you're so rigid and you're so resisting feeling like crap, instead of like, you know what, making this super simple shift of like, I just haven't gotten it yet. I just haven't had that moment where the intubations have clicked, right? Or I'm not stuck. Like so many of you guys, I'm stuck. I can't figure out what to do. I can't do it. I'm stuck. And all you got to do is shift into like, no, I'm not stuck. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to make progress on this. I still need to give myself time to like work on this. And I also want to offer you guys too, is why, like some of us, not everybody, I know some people like don't like all those fantasy movies and stuff like that. I like some of them, but it's even like we like movies in general, right? Like, you know, Star Wars, all the Marvel movies, Avatar, right? Like it's like we get in that theater or we watch that movie, and it's like for an hour we have this permission to like be in this dream space, right? We have permission to dream again. Like watching a movie, like who doesn't like getting lost in a movie or getting lost in a book or whatever? Like it's almost like we have permission to dream again, right? And then we go out in the real world and we're like, oh, nope, I'm not dream killer. I'm not going to believe in anything. I'm not going to have any dreams because I'm just going to be disappointed anyways, right? That's what we do over and over and over again, because disappointment sucks, right? But at the end of the day, it's just a feeling. And this is what I coach my members on all the time, you guys. And you guys, a little nugget here. Feelings, like, so when you have a thought, it evokes an emotion in your body, or like something happens, right? Say like you get humiliated at clinical, right? And all of a sudden your first thought is like, oh my God, is this happening? This sucks. I can't even believe this. I hate this person. This is so terrible, right? But that feeling in your body lasts for 90 seconds. That's it. I always tell them the 90-second rule. That's what we talk about. If you can get through feeling like shit for 90 seconds, you're not going to die. It's okay. You're just having this human experience. It feels terrible, and it's going to pass. And it doesn't mean anything about you as a person, as your worth, or anything, right? It's like, it's okay. So I was watching Miracle on 34th Street the other day. Have you guys seen that movie? My husband has never seen it, which I don't understand that. So maybe you guys haven't seen it either. But I grew up watching the new version, not the old, like the old one. But Miracle on 31st Street. Because I couldn't believe my husband hadn't seen it. And the mom in there just isn't like a believer, right? She's been very hurt by like a man in the past, and she's just been very disappointed and hurt. So then she just doesn't want her kid to be disappointed. So then she passes on all her unbelief to her kid, right? Because I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want my kid to feel disappointed. It's not fair, right? But guys, here's another little nugget right here. When you allow yourself space to feel like crap, and to be disappointed, that is where the magic is, because that is where this window of tolerance is created, right? When you give yourself space to like, yep, totally failed at that today, totally sucks, feel very disappointed, doesn't mean I'm not worthy of anything, but it gives yourself like this bubble of tolerance around you, and that creates resilience. I know all of you guys doing the mock interviews, you're like, I'm so resilient because I got through this. I'm so resilient because I got through this. Yes, like continue this, right? You got to be disappointed, and you got to get back up, and you got to keep showing back up, right? Because that's how you create resilience. That's how you get better. That's how you make progress. But the secret sauce behind that is that skill set of compassion. And that is really what I work on a lot of my coaching program, is compassion. When you feel like absolute crap, are you being compassionate to yourself, and are you willing to keep believing that you can do this and get back in there and do that and grow this kind of like window of tolerance and be okay with being disappointed? Does that make sense, guys? You guys with me? Anyone freaking seen A Miracle on 34th Street besides my husband, or not seen it? And I love what like Kringle says. So in that movie, Santa says to the mom who's like a total unbeliever and is having her kid be an unbeliever, is he says, if you can't accept anything by faith, or in other words, if you can't accept things that you can't see, then you'll be dominated by a life of doubt. Man, right? Like, that sucks. Ashley, you haven't seen it either? Girl, you better go watch that and get inspired. Thanks, Will. Will's seen it. Hey, Trish. Right? If you can't accept things that you cannot see yet, being a CRNA yet, right? Then you will be dominated by a life of doubt or imposter syndrome. And I want to ask you guys, what would you guys rather live? Would you rather live this fun, magic, crazy journey of hope, belief, disappointment, right? And just being able to like eat from the buffet of life, of everything it has to offer us, good, bad, ugly, everything in between? Or do you want to live a life of unbelief and playing small and dumbing yourself down and resisting the feelings of being human and then just continuing to burn out? Like, you do have a choice as to which life you want to live. Both are available for you and you get to totally choose that. And then I also like love in the movie, like towards the end, there's like people everywhere in the streets waiting to hear the verdict because everybody wants something to believe in. It's like we want permission to believe. But then when we go out there, we don't want to believe in anything because we don't want to be disappointed, right? Can you be willing to be disappointed later, but at least show up, right? It's kind of like that when you hear people say, like, choose your hard. Like, you can show up to clinical and do the best you can and be willing to go in there and be like, you know what? I'm going to believe that I can be a little bit better than yesterday, right? And I might disappoint the hell out of myself. But at least I got in there and played the game, right? Or even like I was like coaching on this the other day about going up to bat, right? Not every player goes up to bat and hits a freaking home run, right? Some of them strike out, some of them don't hit anything, right? But they get back up, right? Like, yes, you're going to go up to the plate and there's a huge risk that you are going to be disappointed 100%, but that's okay. I would rather you fall on your face and be disappointed than play small and beat yourself up. Instead, find the magic and the fun and what can you believe about yourself today, because imposter syndrome, we're about to talk about that right now, all comes down to belief and you get to choose. You guys okay? Is everyone doing okay? Is with me? We're good? I know, Ashley, you have a movie you can watch now. It's a good one. And I want to say too, guys, is you can call it like, I call it the river of misery in my program, or like the sea of despair. Like right at that moment when you feel like you are going to give up and you are resisting everything, right? That is right. I want to say that is right at that moment where you have that breakthrough, where you have that moment where everything changed, right? Because you guys sit here and I do the same thing, right? I feel like we wish our lives away so many times. Like, I want to be done. I'm waiting. I just want to be someone else. If I just could be them, then I wouldn't have all these issues. Totally not true, right? Just your brain telling you crazy things, right? Running from your emotions, running from fear, running from disappointment, quitting on yourself, micro-quitting on yourself, anxiety, being confused, doubting everything you've ever done, because all of a sudden you get here and everything you've done just doesn't discount, right? And all of that comes from you just not believing that you are capable of progress and of doing these things. It stems from that because you're scared of being disappointed, right? Yes. All right, let me see what you guys are saying over here. You're in the Hall of Fame for baseball if you get out 7 out of 10 times. Well, I love that. That's amazing, right? I love that. See? It's all it takes. But you got to get back in there, right? You got to get back in the game. Okay, so now let's have a little bit of fun. I gave you my little coachy spiel on disappointment there. You guys take that with you, right? And we'll kind of tie that up back in the end here. But let's have a little bit of fun. I'm going to go through the 5 types of imposters that are out there. And if you guys are not scared, you guys can go ahead and comment below which one. Hello, girlfriend. How are you? You can comment below which one you most identify with. Okay, so we're going to kind of go through these imposter people, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about what is happening when you think these thoughts and have this imposter syndrome, and how you can kind of be more aware of it, okay? I'm going to talk about belief a little bit more and get you guys on your way, get you guys going out there and being magic and being CRNAs, because Lord knows we need y'all out there. We're a little short, a little tight. We need y'all. I need you guys to get these degrees, finish this up. Okay, so first type of imposter. And we said, but like I said before, imposter syndrome is an unbelief. It's disbelief. It's not believing, or it's believing that you're inadequate. It's like believe, right? It's like unbelief in yourself, or believing things that you're not competent, you're not good, you're not good enough, you shouldn't be here, right? So the first type is the perfectionist type. How many of y'all can relate to number one, right? Those are all my control freaks, all right? Type number one. It has to be perfect for me to show up. Right? I'm a total recovering perfectionist. I like get coached. I'm so much better at my perfectionist tendencies. I just show up, guys. Like literally, I posted today my house. I can't even talk to you guys about my house right now and how much I don't have done. And the old me would have probably got up at 5 a.m., made everything, because like, I got to have everything perfect before I get on live on IG. No, guys, this is a hot mess, right? Perfectionism, it's boring. It's not attainable. Let that stuff go. But that's like the first type is right? Is like, it has to be perfect. I have to control it, or else I can't do it. It's not going to be good enough, right? And these are, and the kind of the antidote to this type of imposter is you have to push yourself to act before you think you're ready. It's like the do it anyways. Like, I'm just going to do it anyways, right? Like, I'm just going to plug my nose, close my eyes, and like jump out there and just do it anyways, right? Letting go of that control. So that's type number one. The second imposter is Superman, right? The Superman imposter. So these are my people that are super insecure, like my super insecure folks. Like, so what you do is you get into hustle energy, right? You hustle to try to make up for the fact that you're insecure, like you have all these insecurities. So you're going to action yourself to death because you think that's going to help you measure up, right? In other words, we can call this like, you're like a validation hoe, right? You want everybody to validate you. You believe it's everybody else's responsibility to fix the insecurity in your head because you don't feel good about yourself. You need other people to feel good about yourself. Okay? And mind you guys, we're not judging anybody. We're not judging these types, right? We all probably have a little bit of all this in us, but I just want us to be aware of the types of imposters that are out there, because this type of imposter, the Superman, the insecure person, right, that really struggles with that, your job is to create lots of safety for yourself. September said me. There you go. You recognize it, right? That is really that piece where it's like you dive deep and you kind of take criticism just at like face value and like, what can I do to work with this? Well, how can I take this opinion? And you decide what to do with them, and you pat your own self on the back. You take care of yourself, right? That's super important for the Superman one, right? And when you hustle, guys, and hustling is like, I don't say it's like a bad thing, but a lot of times hustle energy can come from being like a scarcity or like a lack of, right? Because like exactly what I said, if you're insecure, you're lacking, you don't think you're good enough, then you're like, okay, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to action myself to death. And then you're just going to get tired and burnt out, right? It's that hustly scarcity of like, I'm just not good enough. So I have to make myself good enough. She says, it's me. Hi, I'm a validation. It's me. Hey, at least we know, right? Now we know what to work on today, right? All right, third kind is the natural genius. And you guys are probably rolling your eyes because there's one in every class. And I want to know if there's anyone on here right now, but this is the one where they're just good at everything. They get all the A's. Teachers love them. They're so good at clinical. Like, you know what I mean? They're just everything you do, like you're just good at, right? You're like the one that tutors everybody. You're the one that helps everybody else. But if you're this person and all of a sudden you don't do well, holy crap, like pack up shop, life is over, I'm done, forget it all, right? Versus like, no, yes, you're probably naturally good at a lot of things, but you're still a human and you're still just a work in progress, right? And like I said before, progress in life is not linear. Guys, we are not walking on a flat road, and you're not going to just get to like graduation day and like all your problems are solved. That'd be awesome if it was, right? It's up and down. It's good and bad. Like, focus on what you do know, right? That's the key for the natural genius. Yes, focus on your strengths and what you do know, so you never get in this confusion energy. But also hone what your weaknesses are. Just look at what your weaknesses are. Look what you need to work on and just hone them. Don't make it mean anything about you. I love Tenny's like, me, good, yes, right? All right, next type. I've got two more left. So this is the independent woman, right? Or what's that? Was it Lil Webby song? INDE. I still love that song. I think I was like in college living off my dad, but but I still listen to that song. But anyways, that's the soloist. So that's the person. I don't need anyone's help. I don't need no one's help. And if I have to ask for help, then that's like shameful. Like that's that person doesn't need anybody. I ain't asking nobody. Like you will be like freaking on your face. Life is falling apart and you refuse to ask anybody for help because you're in like this, because you think it's like shameful to get help, right? Versus like you can't know everything. You can't do everything by yourself. It's not possible. And in anesthesia, there's a lot more harm that can happen to that patient if you don't ask. I was just talking to like one of the CRNAs the other day. I said, I'm always going to call out for help, like way earlier. Like I'm not going to call when like the patient's gray and I'm like stuck in a pickle, right? Like I'm going to be like, okay, something's happening here. Get someone in the room, right? And then most cases, I'm just like, I figured out I got it, right? So, but that's like the independent one. I don't need help. Leave me alone. Goodbye and thank you. I'd rather be like homeless than ask for help. Okay. So just remember for this personality, like it's not about you, right? You can't know everything. It's not possible. And we are all here to lean on and help each other. Like Leandra's like, that's me. I'm so much better working on it daily. Yes, that's it. That's all we do. We work on little things daily. That's it. And the last but not least is the expert. So this is the person, if they don't know everything, right? This is the one that's like, you're starting clinical and I get a message and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know everything. I can't remember everything. I went through all the Apex books. I did this. I just don't know everything. Like there's no point. I'm going to show up to clinical. Like this is like an information hoe. Like you need info before you can even like put your pants on and like figure it out, right? You're searching for all the answers. You're searching for someone else. You're just like, I just need all these information. Like I'm never like, right? But guys, you're never going to know everything. Like I was telling someone the other day, she was like, I could never take call. I'm like, why? She's like, because of all the crazy stuff that you have to do. I said, girl, do you think I trained for half the stuff that happens when I'm on call? No, it's impossible. I don't know everything. There's no freaking way. Like there's the internet. I use my resources. I call for help, right? There's just like, there's no freaking way. But it's about for these folks that are just the info hoes, like work with what you have for the day, right? Take what you have for the day. All right. All right. I appreciate you guys like responding. I would say for most of my life, I was mostly like the perfectionist one. But I definitely can see a little bit of myself like in a lot of those ways. All right. You guys doing good? And dive into the last little bit of this. You guys good? You guys got your person? You guys know who you are now? Which imposter you are? So no matter which one you are, hey, Alex, Adam, what's going on? Tiffany says I'm a mixture of a few. Yeah, I definitely have like a few in there that I see, but I struggled a lot with like the control freak aspect and then having like info. Like I feel like if I have more info, like even like I've had this like live written for a while, but I'm like, I was out there like, I just need to put, no, you don't. Just go talk to people. Right? I find myself doing that too. So, but what ties all of the imposters, all of that together, is like I said before, it's imposter syndrome is completely psychological. Ashley, I could see you being an expert. Yeah, I could see that. And it just reflects to you where you don't have belief in yourself, right? That's all like those people, like those, I hope you wrote down kind of who you are, because it's just showing you where your belief in yourself is low, right? Imposter syndrome is a thought. I am inadequate. I am incompetent. I am a failure. I shouldn't be here. Tiffany said, I think I'm independent, natural genius validation. I love it. I want to screenshot that. That's awesome. Message me that. That's great. Right? And the first key, you guys, right here, this is the first key. This is what I do in my coaching program, is just being aware. If we were just more aware of like what was happening in our brains and not being so scared of feeling like crap and being so scared of what's in there, y'all, we could be like badasses. Like we could just really, like you guys already are, but like just having this awareness and knowing that you don't have to like live in incompetence and your brain's like, dude, you're stupid. And you're like, okay, I am. No! You're not. No, your brain just telling you craziness, right? You can direct it, right? And that's rule number one, is just being aware of kind of who you resonate with. And then now we have a starting place and somewhere to go to get you to where you want to be, right? From playing small to getting committed to finding compassionate for yourself and then becoming more confident and then more competent, right? So I want you guys to try to catch yourself when those things come up. First rule of it, just catch it. Like, oh, that's interesting. My brain's telling me this. And another way, like other sneaky ways an imposter syndrome can show up, it's like, yeah, clinical was good. I did a really good job, but, or this happened, but. It's like when it's like a but, or like you should yourself. Or even thinking like, are people going to like me? Like, what if I'm just not good enough to I don't think I'm good enough to make it, right? So those are other little ways that it can come up. Like you're minimizing yourself and you're discrediting yourself. You're completely discrediting yourself, minimizing yourself. Bye, Parker. See you later. Yes, and Parker's he's a dad, husband, SRNA, RRNA, doing the damn thing. But minimizing, discrediting yourself, and even just saying it's like luck, like just being like, oh, it was just pure luck that I did that. I'm sure I'll suck again tomorrow. I'm sure it's just like luck, right? So try to start, what's up, Lindsay? Try to start catching yourself saying these things, okay? Because this is what happens. I'm gonna give you quick little science stuff, because I know nobody likes all the frou-frou, like crazy stuff. Like we like science, right? So I'm gonna give you the science, because we're in anesthesia, for Pete's sake. Because here's what's happening is you have a thought about something, right? You have like your clinical, like someone said something bad about you, whatever. And you have these thoughts, and that thought creates that emotion. Like I said earlier, that emotion, 90 seconds, guys, 90 seconds of feeling like crap. If you can get through that, you can get through anything, right? And then you start getting anxious, because then you're like, oh my God, they freaking yelled at me yesterday. They're going to yell at me again today. Now I have all this anxiety. And then your cortisol levels starts like flying up, right? And let me tell you guys, I was thinking about this today, which I think is so funny, is like, I love that we are literally providing anesthesia to calm people down, to like decrease your sympathetic nervous system, to like, combat all the high cortisol levels, to like prevent ischemia and cardiac demand, right? Like that's what we're doing every day. But y'all are walking around in clinical with your hair on fire and your SNS like full on going, and you're like, I was like loud. I was like, that is so true. We're like trying to like calm everybody down, and like we're not calm. We're like on fire with these like ridiculous thoughts that we think we're like pieces of crap when we're not, right? And even like the thought of like, I don't deserve to be here, literally drops your serotonin levels, literally drops your dopamine levels, right? And I was like doing some more researching, and it said for both males and females, the lower your confidence is, right? So you have all these crappy thoughts, you're feeling inconfident, not confident, inadequate, right? Not competent, right? It actually lowers your testosterone. And the more your testosterone is lower, the less likely you are to take risks and go out there and believe things, right? Isn't that crazy, right? Science thing, right? So imposter syndrome is psychological, but it leads to a physical reaction in your body. And that is why y'all are blowing up my DMs with like, I'm so stressed, right? Because all of this is running wild. So we can even look at imposter syndrome as essentially this like chemical cocktail, right, in your body of fear, shame, uncertainty, mistrusting yourself, and essentially persistent unbelief that you deserve success and that you should be there. And when you think about that all the time, when you have this like this narrative, whether you're thinking it or not, when that narrative is playing in your head over and over and over again, and you're resisting being disappointed, you're running from that, it literally leads you to self-sabotage. Anybody? Does that sound like anybody? Am I calling anybody out? And then it's like, I have no time management skills. I can't manage my time. I can't find any type of balance. I study for hours. I can't retain anything. I don't know how to study effectively. I'm so stressed. I'm so anxious, right? Because you're just not aware or checking what is happening in your head. You just think everything that's playing in your head is like the gospel. Like you're just like, oh, well, that's true. Or even like someone said something bad about you, which sucks. Trust me, guys, that sucks. It sucks so bad. But it's not the Bible, it's not the gospel, whatever. It's not like, okay, let them think that. What can you do with that? What can you take and do with that? Versus like crying in the corner. Cry in the corner for a few minutes and get up. What do you want to believe, right? It looks like I feel partially seen. That's me. Yeah, we all do it. So I just want you guys to notice and this is like literally, there's like a formula for this. I literally coach on this all the time in my program of like that neuroscience, like what is actually happening in your body, and like what we can do to like counteract that, right? Because we don't have to stay in this impostery, stressed, anxious space, right? We can stay there for a little bit. I don't want you to be scared of being there, but you don't have to live there, right? You just have this swirling of things going on in your head, right? And again, let me just be very clear. This is not about being a positive Patty, okay? Because trust me, I am no little ray of sunshine all the time. I get up in the morning and half the time I'm like, oh my God, 24-hour call. Then I like start wanting to yell at my husband because I'm like, must be nice work 9 hours. Like, guys, like I wake up like a human like everybody else. But when I'm in my car and I'm driving, or I just take a few minutes and I'm like, what do I want to believe? Where do I want to direct my brain today? I do not want to be that person right now. I do not want to do this. And that's it. I'm aware, and then I make a little shift, right? Not like I'm being like positive Patty and everything's perfect, and it's because it's not, and it's not going to be, right? But you can shift, right? We think that our feelings are the be all end all. Like once you get humiliated at clinical, it's like you never want to go back. Like once you don't get a good test grade, it's like you never want to go back because you're not allowing yourself to just feel bad, right? Just feel bad. Feelings are not the be all end all. 90 seconds, guys. If you're saying that 90 seconds, if you can feel like crap for 90 seconds and not do anything crazy and react, you're okay. You're showing yourself you're not going to die. You're not facing a tiger. You didn't get thrown into the lion's den, right? It's okay. You just are feeling bad. And once again, I'm not excusing anyone's actions, right? But we're not worried about other people. Let other people do them. You worry about what you are going to do for you, how you are going to react, how you are going to respond, how you are going to take care of you, and how you are going to think and act moving forward, right? We don't excuse bad behavior, but you have to learn to kind of deal with it, right? You have to learn, is this going to break me or is this going to make me, right? I'm so dry, guys. Hold on. I want you guys to start thinking about like creating a space around you to learn and to fail. You guys are not allowing yourself to be a beginner. You're a beginner. You're a novice. That's okay. It's not a moral code. You're just a beginner. Don't take a beating at clinical and then go home and beat yourself up. I literally just coached on this. I said, you guys are getting smacked in the face at clinical and then you're going home and you're smacking yourself in the face. No, right? Allow to just be a little negative. Allow yourself to sit in crappy emotions. Allow yourself to be disappointed and be nice to yourself, right? It's okay. You are always going to be okay. You are never not going to be okay. It's like you're so scared you're going to go to clinical and the same thing's going to happen again. But what do you think is going to happen? You still have you. You're going to be okay. You're good. You got this. You just have to go back tomorrow and tweak it and be just a little teeny bit better than you were today, right? And when you're constantly focused on how much lack that is, that scarcity, like, okay, well, I don't know how to intubate yet. I don't know how to do spinal. I don't know how to do any of this yet. Your confidence drops off. And then all of a sudden you get in this like low shame cycle of like my worth is nothing, right? And then all of a sudden you think your worth is on the table. No, you're just not confident in something you haven't done yet. That's it. You're a beginner. You're a novice. And there's going to be other things you're not going to be good at. It's okay, right? But your brain's like, oh, you're a fraud. You shouldn't be here. And then you start actioning yourself to death, right? You start finding all the actions and all the things. You start looking for, those of you, the validation people, looking for someone to validate you, right? So just start noticing when that is happening. And what I think is so funny is that, first of all, congratulations if you guys do experience, what up, Kyle, imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome is a sign that you are an expert. The only people that really feel imposter syndromes are people who have a level of expertise. So that's actually great. That's like great news. The reason you guys feel like this is because you're already experts. That's amazing, right? But now you're working towards another level of mastery. That's it. You're leveling up. Like my shirt, my little Christmas shirt, level up, right? You're going to another level of mastery. Of course. Of course it's going to feel terrible. Of course your brain is telling you to run. Of course you don't believe you're a CRNA yet. Of course you're just a human, right? Of course it's okay. Make space for it to just be okay. And like make friends with that imposter. Like those of you that like to pick one, I want you just to look at that and like kind of be like, okay, I see you. Sit down. Okay, I see you. Now I can manage you. Now I can do something with this, right? Of course this is hard. And another thing I talk about so much is like, are you committed to the process? Are you really committed? Because if you're going in there and you're resisting everything and you're playing small and you're letting everybody else's mood dictate your mood for the day. Oh, that's my preceptor for the day. Oh, it's going to be a bad day. Freaking phone it in. This stuff. No. No, you still get to decide how you show up. You still get to decide that you're committed. All right, this is going to be probably a bitch of the day. It's going to be a bitch of a day. It's going to be terrible, but I'm committed to the process. And stop looking for, oh my God, there's like a hair. And stop like wanting to be ready. There's like an illusion of like, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I can't do it. I do everything. Guys, who is ever ready? Okay. No one's ready to be a parent. Okay. And no one's ready for a toddler. I mean, it's like a whole other level going on up in here, right? Like, you're never going to be ready. You're never going to be perfectly ready for those perfectionist people, the control freaks, right? You just have to be committed. You can be ready all you want for your anesthesia, right? You can be ready. You can have everything set up beautifully and be ready. It doesn't mean the patient's not going to laryngospasm. You can get set up for a spinal. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, right? Like, are you committed? Are you committed to the process? Be committed. Don't worry about being ready. Don't worry about being perfect. Just worry about being committed. I'm going to commit. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to believe that I'm going to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday, and that's it, right? Don't go to, I prepared for the test. I didn't do well. Oh my God, I suck. I'm disappointed. I shouldn't be here. I quit. Whatever. Just recognize this. Okay, I didn't do well. My brain is now going to tell me that I'm like crazy, but I'm like that I suck and I shouldn't be here, but I'm not. That's not true. I'm still committed. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to build a new belief, a different one. Not that I'm inadequate. I'm just a work in progress. I just have to keep going. I just have to go back in tomorrow and tweak a little bit, right? I want you guys to notice what is not serving you. Like when you are sitting down to study, when you are going into clinical, don't allow your brain to have a free-for-all of thoughts that aren't serving you. And having a bad day, having an off day, having a moment, it doesn't mean that you are bad. Having a bad day, having an off moment, when things don't go your way, I prepared, it didn't go my way, it sucks, I quit, right? No, having bad days does not make you bad. The complete opposite of that, right? And another thing, back on the time thing, guys, why, like I said, we think everything is linear and we put these like marks like in concrete and when we don't make it, like, okay, if I haven't intubated by then that I quit, I suck, I'm stupid. You guys know that's not how this works, right? Why are you guys not letting yourself a little bit of time to believe that you can become a CRNA? Like timeline, even like CRNA school. Well, if I don't get in by this and forget it, I'm not doing anymore, I'm done. Like if I don't get in by this school, I've already tried 3 times, I didn't get in. No, keep building that belief up that it is possible for you and keep uncomfortably and messily going forward. Will you allow this process to take the time that it needs? You're avoiding feeling bad. You're avoiding something because you just don't want to feel bad and you're scared of feeling bad. Just recognize that and be open to feeling bad sometimes in this journey. Doesn't mean anything about you. Doesn't mean you're an imposter. It's okay. Don't shrink your vision to fit in. Build your belief to support your vision, right? Don't shrink when you go to clinical to appease people. Build your belief to support what you want to create in that day, right? You guys okay? We're getting close here. Getting close to wrapping up. Everyone doing okay? Someone told me I'm an immigrant and came a few years ago and I'm bad at speaking. I start to feel low at my work. Imposter syndrome sucks. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. It sucks. But okay, right? It sucks. It feels bad, but that's not true, right? That's not, you don't have to live that version of what someone's trying to make you be, right? You have every, I'm trying to think of the word. I lost my word. Like every, not desire to be here. You have every, oh my God, you guys, I can't find my word. You have every right. I can't find my words. You have every right to be here, right? Lean into that. That feels like crap, but don't be scared of that feeling like crap. Doesn't mean anything. Go back in there and okay, get better, get better for you. If you want to be better at speaking, then just get better at speaking. Work on that. Doesn't matter, but do it for you, not for anybody else, right? And it's so funny, actually, that you just said that. I said a lot of you, it's hard because a lot of you have grown up in poverty. or you did come, you came from a family of immigration, immigrated here, right? And maybe you're the only one that went to college. No one else was educated. It's hard because you don't see, there's nothing, you can't believe because you've never even seen it done, right? That's hard. And that's like really scary, right? But that is even more reason to show the F up, right? When you believe that you can do something and you go out there and you just keep working on trying to believe impossible things every single day, then you show other people that they can believe that they can do it and they can win too. That is the point. This is not a competition. This is not a race. We are here to take care of people, right? So fight for your belief so that you can show other people what is possible. And yes, it is super, super, super uncomfortable. It is scary, but it's doable. Yes, absolutely. Don't let that fear knock you down. Don't let that fear cause you to play small. You deserve so much better than that, right? So in the coaching program, I teach something called like the belief triad, so we can work on beliefs and work on imposter syndrome, right? But really quick, guys, beliefs, you know what beliefs are? They're thoughts that you think over and over and over and over and over again, right? That's why I brought up earlier, like from 0 to 7 or from like 7 to 14, like something crazy was ingrained in your head. I'm not cool enough. I'm not good enough. I'm like the stinky kid. I suck, right? Like something happened, right? And it's replaying in your head. And then you're just believing it as an adult because I don't want to be disappointed. So I'm just not going to believe in anything. I'm just going to take all this crap and just, go with it, right? Because it's here. It's got to be true. Which no, all thoughts are not true at all, right? But they've become beliefs. They become embedded in your brain because a belief is something that you've just thought over and over and over and over and over again. So guess what? You can think something else, work on it, and think something new over and over and over and over again every single day when you get into clinical, and you can build a new tribe. It's called neuroplasticity. Your brains are plastic. They can always change, right? And I want you guys to remember too, like every year getting ready for like Christmas or like Santa, right? Like even no matter how you were raised, right? It was hard to not believe because it's everywhere. In the movies, in the shows, they have all this stuff. Your friends, right? It's you believed because you saw so much evidence out there for you to believe. You had no choice but to believe, right? But then when you didn't start believing anymore, all of a sudden you found all this evidence of it not existing, right? You know how that really switches? All of a sudden it was magic and belief and you saw it everywhere, and then someone said something and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is crap. This is magic at all, right? You are going to find what you believe in. If you believe that you're an imposter, that is all you are going to find all day long, guys. So the belief triad. So I have this belief triad that I do in my coaching program. 3 things. There are 3 things you have to start working on to build your belief. And you guys can start doing this today, right? So the first thing is, in the belief triad, yourself, you. What do you need to believe about you? And it doesn't have to be something crazy, big, monstrous thing. But what if you could just believe that I'm capable of improving progress. I can believe that I can be a little bit better today. You have to believe in you, and that has to do with your worth, guys. We like spend so much time in the coaching, just your worth. I'm worth it. I'm worthy. It doesn't matter what people say, right? I add value, right? So that's one thing you have to work on, believing solely in you and that you are capable and competent and infinitely able to believe and think and do all the things you want to do. Second thing you need to believe in is the process, right? Guys, I'm here. Crystal was on earlier. Crystal was here. Sarah Mooksley was on. Anesthesia God. Like all of us, went through the process at different schools all over the country, right? You have to have some belief in the process. Because I know a lot of you were like, I don't get these cases. This sucks. I don't do this. You guys, you'll be fine, right? The process, it does work. It might not be pretty. It might not be what you want, but the process works. You have to work on believing that if I do the didactic work, I study the stuff, I go to clinical, I do the skills, I take the C, right? The process, right? And the third thing you have to believe in is your effort. You have to believe that showing up is going to get you where you want to be, right? So the belief triad, 3 things, work on a belief. You, the process, and effort, right? And going in of what could be possible for me today? And if I fall on my face, if I miss something, then I'll just be disappointed, and that's okay. Because every time I'm disappointed, and then I be nice to myself instead of going in the car and smacking myself in the face and just taking 20 hits or being whatever. But if I have this belief, maybe I didn't get it today, and I'm a little disappointed, but I'm going to be nice to myself. I'm going to show up. I'm going to freaking do it again tomorrow, and I'm going to work on that same belief over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pull Randy on. I'm almost done, Randy. I'm going to pull you on. We're going to talk. It's going to be fun. Right? So I want you guys to enjoy being in the magic of belief, right? You are at the head of the bed now, right? Most of you guys that are in clinical, right? Make that fun. Show people what is possible. You don't have to be miserable on this journey, right? You don't have to be. And the more, I say this all the time when I coach, the more you are willing to feel, if you allow that window of tolerance, you allow yourself to feel like crap, the less you're afraid to feel stuff, the more you are going to start to believe big things. I'm going to say that again. The more you allow yourself to feel like crap and not beat yourself up, just feel like crap sometimes and take a little disappointment, take a little humiliation, the more you allow that, the bigger, the more you're going to be able to start believing, right? Tune your brain into finding Santa, finding the magic, right? It's everywhere. And I want you to think of so as I keep saying, disappointment, that's a huge thing that we use to hold us back. Build that muscle, right? If disappointment is 150 pounds, then lift 2 pounds. Start with just 2 pounds. I'm just a little disappointment today. I'm gonna have a little belief here and 2 pounds. And then I'm gonna go next week and I'll try to pick up 5 pounds of it, right? Just little bits, guys. It's not about going from 0 to 60, it's little tiny shifts, right? And just because there's going to be 1,000,001 freaking obstacles doesn't mean that you can't believe in yourself and the process and the effort, right? So I think I was coaching one of the first people I was coaching. I was like, girlfriend, you're walking into clinical, super impostery. You have zero belief in yourself, right? And then you become at the mercy of everybody else there because you're looking at them to believe in you, but you don't have any belief in you, but you want them to believe in you. And then you're looking at them and then they don't think that they're not confident in you, and around and around and around and around you go, right? It's almost like that body odor you're putting out there, right? Every day, I want you to work on how you can believe. What can you believe? What big things, what little things, what can you believe about you and getting through this process today, and not give that power or give it to anybody else to believe those things for you. You have to do it with you. And while you're doing that, you give value, right? You give value to everybody you come across, no matter how they act, right? And this is what you do every single day. It's not comfortable. It's not always going to be fun. Some days are going to be harder than others, right? But are you willing to give yourself time to be a novice and grow and build the belief that you will be a CRNA, right? So just start recognizing the patterns, guys. Figure out which imposter you are, right? Start recognizing those patterns and try to find a starting spot. Okay, this is what I'm believing right now. This is where I'm at right now. What can I start believing in tomorrow? What is a little tiny thing? What feels good to me to think about that I can start working on tomorrow? Because all that energy of not believing and resisting and trying to convince everybody that you're someone you're not, right? And thinking all these things about other people, you're just it's an energy suck. You guys are killing yourself, right? You will have more energy when you work with more purpose and more belief and more intention than just working with whatever crap your brain gives you, whatever imposter you're being, right? Work hard, work your butts off, sweat, work hard, but do it with a little bit of belief and a whole lot of purpose, right? And then you're not going to be completely energy sucked at the end of the day, right? So I put this quote up today, and it says, I think I wrote it down because I obviously can't get to it now. So I put the quote up today in my stories. It says, when you believe something can be done, really, really believe it, your mind will always find ways to do it. Believing a solution paves the way for a solution. Guys, I want you guys to screenshot that and think that, because it is so true. Your mind, like I said about Santa, when you believed You found evidence everywhere. The magic was everywhere, right? When you believe something, when you are committed to something, it will be done. And sitting there saying, I'm stuck, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, you're going to get exactly that result in your life. Versus, you know what? I'm still figuring it out. I'm still working on it. I'm capable of, like, it's that little tiny shift, and it's working on that every single day. Because the answer is here, guys. I know everybody wants the holy grail of, like, how do I study? How do I do this? Blah, 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 right? You guys, you are the magic. It is you. You are the answer. You pat yourself on the back. You love yourself. You validate yourself. You get back in. You swing that damn bat as hard as you can. Try to hit that ball, knowing you're going to miss a few of them, right? You are the magic. It's you. You know what to do. You have so much proof of concept already of how far you've gotten. You have imposter syndrome because you're an expert, because you have expertise. You're just getting expertise in something else. That's it. So I just want to leave you guys with, what are you willing to believe? What are you willing? The imposter syndrome is a belief issue. Think and believe in something different that serves you, right? Be willing to feel like shit, because it doesn't change your worth, not one single tiny little bit. Be willing to feel bad to get to where you want to be, and build that belief every single little bit, like little nuggets, every single piece of the way. That's it. You are the magic. All right? All right, guys. Actually, Mannequin 2024. You're hilarious. Guys, questions? Randy, I think I pulled you on. I'm hitting accept. Trying to pull Randy on. I hit accept. I don't know. Oh, there you go. What's going on?
I'm just enjoying the nitrous, that's all.
Are you okay? Guys, questions? I got Randy here, chilling. How are you guys feeling?
I'm getting a 70-30% nitrous oxygen mixture.
Are you feeling better?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
I was saying, can you like breathe?
Yeah, you ever go to the dentist, you gotta get nitrous. It's
Is it
awesome.
good? Do you guys like do for those PD wake ups? What do you do for those? They're not PD, putting peds to sleep, giving them that nitrous, and all of a sudden they like go
You,
crazy and they're like laughing.
I found a lot of preceptors don't teach their SRNAs to use nitrous anymore.
Really? I use it. Some people are against nitrous. I like it. I'm a fan. It has a place. Ketamine has a place. Nitrous has a place. All those things.
I don't know, I like it. I use it often in the cath lab or even my spine cases. When I wake my spine cases up, I like to get them light before flipping,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I use nitrous for that.
Yeah. I think it's a great bridge. I know some people are like, again, I feel like nitrous is one of those things, like, start a riot.
hmm Somebody say get well. So I'm at the dentist's office, y'all.
I know. I was like, I thought you were gonna feel like at home chilling. So Randy, we're
Well,
talking about beliefs. We're talking about believing in yourself when nobody else does, and clinical and all the drama. Can you speak on it? What can you say?
um, I think everybody like go through that imposter syndrome at some point in TRNA school. And just because it's something different, you're not used to it. You come from being an expert
Yes.
in the ICU to being a novice, and you just it's like starting over
Yep.
again. And
Yep.
eventually, like just like with the ICU, you get over it.
Yeah.
As you do more cases, you feel more confident. As you see things over and over again, you have a better understanding of what's going on.
Yep. I said,
So it's normal to have imposter syndrome in anything you do, but like as time passes, you get over it.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I love that, guys. Like he said, like exactly what we were talking about is like you go, and I talk about this a lot, like for them when they get into school, is like you have to be a novice again. Like you're going from an expert to a novice, and
hmm
mean that you're stupid and you're incompetent, and you're inadequate and you suck. And it doesn't mean that. It just means your brain is giving you this, but it just
Mm-hmm.
that you're just new, and let yourself be new and let yourself feel how that feels in being new, and just know that it's not always going to be like that, you know? And even like on my call shift, things will happen. And I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, never done this before. What the heck do I do? But it always goes back to your foundation, right? As long as you're in school and you're building that foundation, you can freaking when the ER calls you at 2 a.m. and I'm like, wait, what?
That's
It goes,
right. Yeah, of course. Like, wait, what?
I'm like, wait, you want me to do what? Like, what happened?
Exactly. Have those days for real. You like what?
Yep. Too many times, right? Because you're not gonna know. I think we talked about we talk about the different kinds of imposter syndrome, like the ones that like the perfectionism, the ones that need all the information to be good, the ones that need, I think we call them like that.
You know, what's crazy is like a lot of time what people don't realize is like in anesthesia, right? Most of the stuff we do, we don't have all the information.
We
We don't have all the information, especially if you work hard. Like you don't have all the
don't
information. Like,
no, and they
like,
ER has nothing to give you. Like you literally like get this patient, you have like a surgeon, and I'm like, what is even happening? Like, and usually by the time I get the information, it's like the wrong. I don't even know what the surgery is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's been giving, and you're just literally like, all right, well, I know that I need an airway. I know I need a line. I know I need
hmm
something. Let's do it.
I think that's what people don't realize that most of the time we don't even have all the information. Like, especially especially going from like student status to like actually a CRNA where yeah, you had time to prep for your case. Now it's like, all right, you need to go take over this room, or you need to go down there, you need to do that, you need to go to ED. It's like, bam.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. Like, and you just do it. That goes with, once again, like using it's not like living in that confusion of like, I'm stuck, I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay, this is what I do know, these are my basics, this is my foundation, and focusing on
hmm
that versus like, because if you get focused on being confused, you're just going to be more freaking confused, and you're at the head of the bed, you're the leader. I'm telling you, everyone looks at you when things hit the fan. Everyone's like,
Exactly.
calls are at you guys.
They
So
go crazy. Like they looking at you like, what
yes,
you gonna do?
exactly. And you know what to do. That's what I want to tell you guys. Even if you haven't been in a situation before and you don't have that information, you still have to come from the energy of like, I know what to do, and not allow that
hmm
imposter. All of a sudden, it's like you're just hit like, who am I to do this? I can't do this. And then it's like you can't breathe, when it's like, no. But once again, shift. What do I know? Like, what do I have? What is all the expertise, all the expert info I do have? And let me start there. And then that takes you from being confused and spinning to actually getting it
I
done.
mean, exactly. Like you're not gonna know everything, but you know enough. You know enough, and you know when to get other people involved, right?
Yeah. That's what I said. I said, I call for help early, and mostly I just tell them to leave the room. And at the time I come, I'm like, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But I'm always going to, here, I got to feel, you know what I mean? I'm always going to ask for help early. And that's the thing too, is like, it's never about me. But I've been precepting a lot like lately, and I
Mhm.
knock it in, and I had to call the doctor like, come help me. And I just looked at the resident I was precepting, and I said, remember this moment, like it doesn't mean anything about you as a person to ask for help, because it's not me.
You
This
know, somebody asked me that question in one of my videos, one of my TikTok videos. Um, how often do you call the anesthesiologist for help, right? And I was like, well, I call any anesthesia provider for help.
anybody,
Like,
whoever's free.
if I need help, I need help at the time. I don't care who it is. Like,
It's not, and it's like it's
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. It's not about oh
If they know something or can help me do something,
yeah,
then great, I can use your help. You know, it doesn't matter who it is.
absolutely, yeah, true.
That's what I think. This whole hierarchy of medicine, people like they have to get this hierarchy out of their brain when it comes to
Attention to
how it really works.
yeah. I'm like, we're all, and that's what I really do love about actually like my group, as much as like my job makes me crazy. Like, I love our group because we just get the work done. Like, we're doctors, we're RNAs, and it doesn't matter. Like, we don't pick like, oh, a doc needs to do that. No, it's like, okay, do that, get that. Like, we all just work together, get it done. It doesn't matter if you're an MD or a
Yeah,
CR. Let's just get the work done and go home.
Wait, do you find yourself often they always calling you to come do lumbar punctures and stuff like that?
We kind of put the kibosh on that. Like I haven't had, I think I did like one because it was like a really difficult one and they wanted me to like do sedation or I'm like, wait a second, either you're gonna get sedation or I'm gonna do the lumbar. I'm not like, what is this?
Yeah, I know them both.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not knowing both. Like, which is
I need my toys. No. But no, we kind of like don't, I think just one time and that otherwise, no, they can do it. They can do it.
so what I found was, especially like in some hospitals, um, they always they love to kick the ball to anesthesia. Like, you need a lumbar puncture. Oh, just call anesthesia. Like, wait. Don't call anesthesia.
Randy,
Sure, we can do it,
don't get my blood pressure.
but I would rather come down there and teach you fucking hospitalists or intensivists how to do it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to call me to do it every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Well, another good example is I had to I got called, like I was on call. I was on, in-house call 24 hour. You know how you do, right?
mm-hmm.
And the ICU intensivist wanted to put a double lumen tube
Mm-hmm.
on the patient they coded earlier. I'm like,
Why would they want
you want to
to try to have you do that too in the ICU? And I was like, no. Like,
So apparently, I don't know, CPR, like her right lung was bleeding or something like that. I don't know what the fuck they did on CPR. But mind you, ICU intensivists don't know how to put a double lumen tube in.
no.
So I'm like, dude, it's like 8 at night.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you want to put a double? All right. So so I go find a double lumen tube, find the equipment and all that, go over to the ICU, just like, okay, if I put this tube in, then this patient's gonna get a bill from anesthesia.
I know. It's true. And that's
I'll just sit here by the bedside and walk you through how to put it in.
no, that's great. I love that.
Because if I step in, the patient getting an anesthesia bill.
Yeah.
So I taught the intensivist how to put a double lumen tube in and check and all this other stuff. Mind you, I haven't done this since I was in school.
At you. But see, guys,
It just came back like that.
Example of like,
Your foundation.
Imposter, right? He could have succumbed to that, but he was just like, okay, I've seen it. I've done it before. It might have been a while, but it doesn't mean that I can't. I just want you guys to remember that, right? Like your whole career is like you're going to be met with stuff that's different than clinical. You're met with hard stuff in clinical, but it all comes back to like, okay, this is, I'm keep pushing you guys as I'm not stuck. This is what I do know. And we're going to go from here. Like that is what I want you guys to just constantly be shifting.
And at that moment, I became a subject matter expert, regardless of how long I was doing it.
Yeah.
And the ICU doc was appreciative of that because he's never done it. I taught him how to do it. I taught him how to verify. And then I came back and checked on him the next morning, following morning, just because it may have dislodged because he didn't paralyze the patient after putting it in.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, like, and this I talked to him, like, you got to paralyze the patient, like,
yeah,
not dislodged, but the cuff herniated
exactly.
out of the left main stem, yeah. So, but that goes to say that I haven't done it since I was a student. It had been over a year since I put a double lumen tube in, but I just had to do at the time.
Yeah. And that's it.
And I had to rely on my foundation.
Yeah. The foundation, choosing thoughts that are going to serve you, like choosing to like find something that I believe this, I know this, and like just doing it. Like, guys, that really is the job, is like, that's my job, taking call, like, going to the floors, like you're kind of like when you're anesthesia, like you are like the troubleshooter, right? And if you're running around like letting imposter syndrome just run wild and not taking any type of control about it that we just talked about, and if you're not leaning on what you do know and your foundation, like you are going to struggle. But you guys are troubleshooters, right? And I think I just had read that quote that was in my thing. If you believe that there's a solution, you will find a solution, right? Because you
Yeah.
are the master troubleshooters. That is your job, and that's what y'all got to do.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Especially like when for the ones that graduating now, when you get on the 24-hour shift, I know some don't want to do 20. I personally wanted to do it, um, so I did it. Like I remember my first 24-hour call, like by myself. It was by accident because I was like literally a month into like off of like I had just started as a CRNA. And I'm like 4 weeks into working by myself, and it's like, well, we have nobody to do the call, and they're like, can you do it? I was like, well, shit, Now I was nervous as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you, like 24-hour call by yourself, and you like a month into being CRNA, like that shit was scary in the
It
hospital, right?
is. Yeah, absolutely.
Made it through, but sometimes like for us, like we gotta dive in and get over those fears and things like that. Honestly, just rely on your training and what you've done before.
Exactly. And even like for those of you like in school, the same thing. So for those of you that graduated, remember, like, that imposter syndrome is going to creep in. You're going to recognize it. You're going to see it, but then you're going to be like, wait a second. I do know this. This is my foundation. I'm going to
Hmm.
bring all that with me. All going to settle in, start your job. But for those of you in anesthesia school now, don't discount all the expertise that you got as a, right? Because you were the expert. You were the one everyone was going to. You were the one going to codes. You were the
Hmm.
one rapid responses, asking the questions, like getting the lines, where we at, right? So don't discount that going in there,
Hmm.
right? Remember that you are an expert. I think I just like literally said earlier, those that have imposter syndrome are experts. Only experts have imposter syndrome, right? You're just elevating to a new level of expertise, but take everything with you into that and you will always be okay. You will always be able to
Yeah.
figure everything is figure outable. Like you have that. And I just want to magic, guys. The magic is in you. Like I said, you have the magic. You have the power. It's all you, period. Don't discount, like, just because you're not where you want to be right now doesn't mean you can discount everything that happened before. Use that, pull that in.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could say
And I got a
huh?
baby. I hear him crying.
I gotta go anyway.
Yeah.
They're about to go finish drilling. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for popping on. It was good to see
we
you.
got we gotta do this again.
Yes, for sure. We'll do this for sure again. I'm so glad you like
When
drugs.
when I'm not like drugged.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, anesthesia is great, you guys.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, Randy.
All
Well,
right,
better. Take care.
bye.
Bye. I don't know how to like do that. So I'll stay on for a few minutes. If anybody has any others, like a random pop on, a little spontaneous. Anybody have any other questions? Need anything? I have a few more minutes. So we'll let this baby cry for a couple more seconds. Okay, we'll let him sit in his feelings a little bit, right? Oh, great stuff. Thanks. You guys are so welcome. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys taking the time to chill with me. I'm like out of water. Any questions, concerns, anything? Or what are you guys going to work on today, right? What is the belief you guys are going to work on today? Something small. That's your homework for like, what is something small shifts, not big shifts, little shifts that you guys can start, believing in, like today. You're so welcome. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And like, if you guys want, I deeply over 50% off discounted my coaching program because I want more people in it. But this is exactly like literally, you guys, this is what I coach on. Like the belief triad, beliefs, showing up, compassion, like it's all just a skill set that takes time to learn. And so I am so happy, to have you guys and to coach you guys and to help you guys get through this because it's not easy. Stan said, best advice for an SRNA going into clinical. Well, I tell everybody, I'm a clinical coordinator on one of my sites, flexibility. Like flexibility. If you didn't watch all the live or see this, listen about the imposter syndrome and kind of recognize that and some of the steps for that. But be flexible, be humble, keep your head down, work your little butt off and try to enjoy the process is literally. And other things I would say going into clinical, ask lots of questions, come with questions. You're not going to know everything. So the best way of getting prepared is like, I would always like, depending on the cases I was doing or where I was at, I would have like, I would kind of, get my care plans together. Then I would find an article about something specific. Like if it was robotic surgery, it would be about like, like fluid management in robotic surgery, or preventing all the pressure in the eye with T-Berg, or T-Berg positioning stuff. Like find something to kind of latch onto that you can talk about and explore with your preceptor. Like have a plan. Like don't walk into clinical and just be like, I don't know. Like have a plan of what you want as you get farther in, is what you want to work on for that day, right? So I'd say go in, prepared, be flexible, head down, work hard, enjoy the process, and try to have some fun, because it's awesome. Once you start passing anesthesia, it's like amazing. See, Tiffany says no one to take a break and make you time. That was a hard adjustment for me this semester. Tiffany, I love that you said that. That is perfect. And that's like a lot of it. Yeah, don't like, and it goes back to that scarcity hustle energy that I was talking about, of like you try to action yourself to death because you feel like you're lacking in something. And there's like it is a fire hose of information you have to drink from, but you think you're lacking in something. So then you action and hustle yourself to death. And then you think you can't take a break, and then you burn out. That's like when I say your sympathetic nervous systems are literally on fire. You guys are running around literally on fire. And like what Tiffany just said is you got to stop. You got to take a break. You have to stop. And it's not like a whole bubble bath thing all the time, but literally take a break. Work out, cry, read a book, journal, like spend time with a friend, just laughing, not even venting, laughing, like watch something funny, like find something that lights and fills your soul up. You have to create space for that in school, or you're just going to be miserable. It's going to be so hard. That was great advice, Tiffany. And also, Stan, I have my clinical guide too. It's free, and you get 2 clinical guides, and I kind of walk you through all kind of like the need to knows when you start clinical. So the link is in the bio. It's like free clinical guides, and you can download and you can get those today. But it kind of gives you a starting point of like the flow of the OR, like what to look for, stuff like that. Oh, baby stopped crying. Yeah, Tiffany said agree, because I definitely burnt out. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's really what I do in my coaching is like, it's not going to be easy, but I want to see you guys more in this high self-worth place versus in this shame and burnout spot. And so all I try to do with coaching is to get you guys here a little bit more, is to get you on this part of the circle versus the low part, because it's going to happen, right? You're human. But if I can just get you out of that crappy place and get you up here more, then I feel like I've done my job. And that's really what I work on with the coaching, is like getting up here. Because yeah, she was, yeah, of course not, you weren't productive. Because you're like beating a dead horse, because you are exhausted and you have to stop, and you can't work like that. It's just not, it's not sustainable. It's not going to work out. Absolutely. So it's recognizing that, because there's actually, I coach on this too. There's like actually 3 parts to your autonomic nervous system. And it's like, you have your sympathetic, but then you also have this dorsal part of it when you just shut down. Once you shut down, it's done. So that's what I work on, is how can I prevent you from getting to the shutdown stage and get you into a different place that is more productive. And a lot of it, it's like, it's you, it's you, it's your willingness to stop, your willingness to believe different things, your willingness to be committed, and your willingness to be compassionate to yourself, period. That's the magic sauce, y'all. Anything else, you guys? Anybody needs? This was so fun. I'm gonna do another live in January, so in like the new year. And then those of you in the coaching program, I made some like really awesome, fun changes to really streamline the coaching program. We're going to have like studying masterminds in there. It's going to be just amazing things. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited to really, I want you guys to just grow, and really not, and I was just telling my coaching clients this, it's not new year, new me. It's new year getting more into the real you. I want you to step into more of who you are and stop all this playing small stuff. Like that's so 2022. Any other questions? If nothing else, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys can take some of these nuggets and go. Tiffany, it doesn't matter. Once you join, you're in for the year. So if you join now or in January, like you're there, you're in for the year, and we'll walk you through. It really doesn't matter if you want to get started with stuff like now, like kind of take a break and start diving into some of the stuff. But I am going to be kind of, like I said, streamlining and changing some things up, but it's not going to affect the content that's in there now. At least you can start like looking at some stuff, getting familiar with it, getting on the Facebook page, and then using little nuggets like that. You're welcome, Alex. You guys are so welcome. Thank you guys so much. We need you guys, okay? We freaking need you guys. So stay in the game. I need y'all to believe. I need y'all to stay. We are short-staffed, and like you guys, once again, you guys are so freaking unique. Like you guys are so unique. You are good enough as you are. You are worthy enough as you are. Just show up as that and you'll be fine, right? No one can strip any of that from you. Don't let them. Don't get sucked into anyone else's energy. Like I walk into work all the time and I was like sitting in my car and I was like, this might be the last few moments of peace I have until 7 a.m. the next morning, because it was like 6:50. And of course I walk into work and it's like, everyone's like having a meltdown at the board. And I'm just like, make that choice to not let other people's be your energy. Your preceptor, your program, there's nobody, you don't have to take on anybody else's energy. You direct the ship, right? You choose what you want to think. You choose what you want to believe. That is all within your power and your control. Ashley, you're the best. Ashley's been in my coaching program and she's like a little rock star. She's great. She worked on all the thoughts. Leandra's in the coaching program. She's about to get the heck coached out of her. So excited. But this is what we do, guys. If you have any question of anything I do in the coaching program, this is basically it. We just work on this and the daily work of showing up and believing in yourself and becoming more of the person that you are, not the person that you think you should be. All right. All right. Now the baby's really screaming now. All right, guys, future CRNAs. I see you guys. I'm here for you. If you need anything at all, I'm here. You guys know how to reach me, DM me, email me, whatever. If you have any questions, that's what I'm here for. And yeah, let's freaking do this. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the things. And I will talk to you guys all very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.